All right, this is the Fantasy Sports Boss. Is it too early to already look ahead to 2023 fantasy football? I don't think so. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe, hit that notification button. Lots of videos coming up hot and heavy over the next couple of weeks. Of course, NFL free agency is beckoning. David Carr visiting with the New Orleans Saints, which is a very intriguing a possible destination for him and would really boost the value of Chris Olave, who I already like heading into the season. But today I wanted to talk about quarterbacks. Again, looking ahead to 2023, it's very early, of course, that's the caveat. And here's the other thing. I'm also hard at work at my 2023 Fantasy Football Draft Guide early offseason edition. There's an early offseason edition, and then there's one that comes after the draft, the late edition. So make sure you look for the early offseason edition in the next couple of weeks. One thing about the quarterback position that, I have touched on, in some wrap-up videos, towards the end of the season, is that, really, if you look at the position, there's just about 7 or 8 guys that I want. And they're all dual threat quarterbacks. And I've spoken many times about how the dual threat quarterback is the way to go, is the only way to go in fantasy, because we saw the huge advantage that Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, before he got hurt, Lamar Jackson, all these guys give you such a major advantage at the quarterback position, especially in super flex leagues. But I'm going to go on the premise in single quarterback leagues when doing this video today. And, for me, it's the following 7 or 8 quarterbacks are going to be on my team next year. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm done with this, the stationary pocket quarterbacks we saw last year with Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers. All those guys went bust. All 5 went bust. And when they're not throwing, for a high number of yardage and touchdown passes, then you're really just not getting good production from your fantasy quarterback. Now, Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, those are the top 3 quarterbacks for 2023. Now, I have it in the order of Allen, Mahomes, Hurts. Allen and Mahomes, I have over Hurts in their own tier, because Hurts, for as good as he was, fantasy football worthy MVP in 2022, he has a small frame, and he did miss 2 games with injury, while Mahomes and Allen did not. Mahomes and Allen are known for their durability. All we had to do was see Mahomes play through a high ankle sprain in the playoffs to know that. And Allen simply doesn't miss games, battled through an elbow injury last year. Jalen Hurts has that injury risk that those 2 guys don't have. So if you're willing to pay the freight in single quarterback leagues for Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes, it's going to take probably for Allen in the 2nd round, Mahomes in the 3rd, Jalen Hurts probably 2 in the 3rd, 4th round range. Those 3 guys stand above everyone else. Now, I'm not willing to pay that cost for my quarterback. I want to get receivers and running backs, my first 2 picks. So reluctantly, I'm not going to get any of those guys. Now, the next grouping, this is the grouping I'm really going to focus in on. Now, Joe Burrow, I have 4th in these very early rankings. Joe Burrow is just a phenomenal player. Now, he doesn't run much, but he did run more last season, a year away from his previous knee injury there. 257 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground, nothing to sneeze at. So he does contribute. He does qualify as a dual threat quarterback, the most accurate quarterback in my opinion since Troy Aikman. And I firmly believe that. He's just a fantastic player. Joe Burrow is 4th on my list. Probably not going to end up with him either, but just because his name brand is so high. Now, the next grouping, I have Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Herbert. So I have those 4 in that grouping. Now, Justin Herbert, I'm a little gun-shy on him. I do think there is a good comeback season in him. We got to see what the situation is with Keenan Allen. Is he going to come back to the team or not? Herbert did not play well. Now, a lot of his key players were injured. Allen and Mike Williams lost big stretches of the season to injury. So I'm not and he doesn't run much either. So I'm not a big Justin Herbert guy. Lamar Jackson, we got to see where he's going to end up. Lamar Jackson is a fantasy football cheat code just because he runs so much. He's basically Justin Fields, a better passer than Justin Fields. So I'm still a big fan of Lamar Jackson. I double drafted him last year. We all know things didn't work out too well for him because of the injuries in his last season in Baltimore, but he had back-to-back 40-point games early on in the season. I'm still a big fan, still in his prime, still young enough. I'm going right back to the well, Lamar Jackson, as his price should come down just a little bit, not too much, but I'm a big fan of his. Justin Fields is also in this group. Now, as a double Jackson owner, I was also a double Fields owner because I picked him up when he got off to a really, hot start in the middle of the season and just exploded in the third quadrant of the season. Now, he did not finish strong in the fantasy playoffs and the fantasy championship week. He was a dud. And the thing with Fields that we really got to see next season, like Jalen Hurts this past season, he's got to improve as a passer. Now, the Bears got to get him some more weapons. I think they're going to do that. They should improve the line as well. The arrow is pointing up on Fields. However, there is, and I'm part of this group that thinks the Bears should trade Justin Fields and use that number 1 overall draft pick to take C.J. Stroud, to take the Alabama kid. I don't like Will Levis compared to those two. I think Will Levis scares me just a little bit. And then get that, maybe they get 2 first-round picks for Justin Fields. They end up with 3 first-round picks, a team that needs help everywhere. I think that would be a great move. I'm not 100% sold on Justin Fields because we saw when opposing defenses took the running aspect of the game from him, he really couldn't do anything as a pocket passer, and that's concerning to me. So I'm not going to chase Justin Fields very much in drafts next season at this point. Trevor Lawrence, bingo. So if you're giving me the 2 guys that I'm really keying in right now, it's Trevor Lawrence and Lamar Jackson. Those are the 2 guys I'm really keying heavily on. I've spoken many times over how I love Trevor Lawrence. He did run, a decent amount to qualify for a dual threat quarterback perspective. He's got major weapons, including Calvin Ridley coming to the team to join Zay Jones, to join Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne, Evan Ingram should re-sign. So Trevor Lawrence, who I think is a tremendous league-winning possible quarterback. He is on his way. The number 1 overall pick a couple of years ago. Best prospect, NFL passing prospect since Andrew Luck, in my opinion. He is coming, folks, and he's coming quick. So I am really big on Trevor Lawrence next season. Now, Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones are in my next grouping. So if I can get Daniel Jones and Deshaun Watson as backups, I will do that in a second. I love Daniel Jones. I've been a Daniel Jones apologist since the Giants drafted him. He really unleashed the rushing game, over 700 yards rushing. Did not have anybody to throw to. So yes, the touchdown passing numbers were low, but Jones is going to get help. Brian Dable offense, sign me up any day of the week and twice on Sunday. I'm really big on him. Deshaun Watson, it was ugly coming back after that long layoff, to be understood. Coming back in rough weather in Cleveland in the dead of winter there. I'm going to give him a mulligan. I think, he's still young. He's still in his prime years. Has he been shaken mentally by everything he's gone through? It is very possible. But the value is going to be there for a comeback campaign. A lot of people are going to sour on Deshaun Watson. The draft cost is going to drop. So I have him as my backup, him and Daniel Jones. If things go completely wrong and I don't get Lamar Jackson and Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones and Deshaun Watson are up next. And then really late, Trey Lance, maybe we'll give him another go, depending on if he does claim the starting quarterback job there. But that's it. Those are the guys I'm really looking at. Lawrence and Jackson, Daniel Jones, Deshaun Watson, Trey Lance as a very late lottery dart throw. Those are the guys I'm really focusing in on more than anybody else. So again, guys, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. I will update when the initial early off-season draft guide is available. My NFL draft guide is already available on Amazon, so make sure you pick that up. And I also posted the link on my channel homepage. So again, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. More videos on the way.